I was fixing to open these for this video, but I thought I'd bring you. I showed it on a Walmart haul, but I'm fixing to do my first canning session of the year. My jars held me up, and I'll explain why in a little bit. It's nighttime, folks, and I got my jars in the dishwasher, and I always make sure that they don't rattle against each other. But my dilemma is, especially with the smallmouth lids, they want to fall through during the washing process. And so tonight I decided to try to wedge them in here with the back of the lid to the back of the lid, so the rubber part's not, the seal part's not touching. So I'm going to see how this works. Does anybody have a better suggestion? I thought once about maybe a lingerie bag and put these in it kind of flat, or just washing them by hand. I seriously thought about that, but if I'm going to wash my jars in the dishwasher, I thought, well, I'm going to wash these too. That's just how I go. I've got like a million things running through my mind right now, but I got to get this done. I got the broth still simmering. Let me see here. Look. Might be a little more than simmering. And I've got my chicken all pulled. But I'm working on 2 or 3 different things at one time. It seems like that's how I usually roll, and I usually don't record, but trying to get better at recording this stuff, so this is what I'm doing. Well, I'm done picking at the bones. This is how much meat I got off that was left on the turkey. There's over 8 cups. There's probably closer to 10 cups here. And I really don't want to can it till I get my broth done. Hot mess, isn't it? Crock pot won't do this turkey, so I'm gonna bring you back over here to the stove and show you what I'm gonna do to get prepared for canning up this turkey. Before I get my hands all nasty with what was left of the carcass right here, I'm gonna throw everything that was in my crock pot in the stock pot. What made me think 8 quart? I think it's 8 quart, might be 6. Crock pot would do these bones. I have no clue. But like I said, I've never canned a turkey. I guess I better get the plastic out of it. That's what was holding the legs together. So before I get my hands all nasty in it, I about forgot what I was doing. I had to put my big canner down because I didn't have room. I had some celery in the refrigerator that needs to get used up somehow, and I thought, well, it can help season this broth. So I'm just cutting up to be able to get the goodness out of the whole celery. I'm cutting it off so that it can permeate, get all the flavor out. I didn't even count how many celery stalks. I also had some onions. This one was still fairly firm, but I wanted to put it in. This one, on the other hand, let me see if I can find it, was growing a pretty, I'm going to call it a headpiece. So I thought, might as well throw it in there too. Got that in there. And before, let me wipe my hands real fast. can I just say, mixed bell pepper that's been dehydrated. Put some of it in there. And if you've watched any of my, where I bake my turkey, I'm going to put a little bit of this kicking and chicken in there. It's going to have to be good. So now, this one had a lot of the, what do you call it? The broth from the turkey in the roasting bag. So that's why I'm just taking the roasting bag and dumping it all in my pot. Make sure I get as much off that I need. And now I'm just going to fill this up with water. I'll bring you back when I get some water ready. I've already put 3 of these containers up to here in it. I went ahead and got this much more water because I kind of like to cover my chicken good. And there's no way that I'm going to lift this pot. I'll probably just dip it out from the stove when it gets done. See if I can show you. Can you see that? Am I showing you? That's my pot right there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm sorry, my nose. What I'm going to do now is start this on to where it'll simmer. I'll have to keep an eye on it because it's not in the crock pot. That's one reason I like my crock pots. Put my meat back in the refrigerator until I get ready to can. And when I get all this done, get my mess cleaned up, I'll bring you back and show you where I'm going from there. If I even know. I've already got my canning jars ready over here. May wind up washing a few more. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll be back. Bet you didn't think you'd see me again. I'm back in the kitchen. I was fixing to can at this turkey. I'm gonna turn my broth off. It's been going more than 24 hours. It has. I should have started a long time ago with this. Life takes hold sometimes. But I thought I'd come back and tell you. I washed all my canner parts. Washed my gasket. I've got to put it into the lid. Need to make sure all your parts are clean and free of debris when you're canning. And I'm trying to. So there's that. I'm probably going to have a double decker. Or at least I hope I am. So I washed both of my, what do you call these? They're not a trivet. Are they a trivet? No, what do you call them? Anyway, you put it on the bottom. I may come back and remember what it is. But you put it on the bottom of your canner. See, you can tell it's later in the evening. My thinker's not thinking. Y'all gonna have to stay with me on this. And set your jars on top. And then if you've got another layer, you'll put another, yeah. What am I going to call the whatchamacallits? You'll put another layer on top of the can of the jars and put your jars on top right here. And I made sure that my weights, I have to use 10 pounds in our altitude. I live in East Tennessee. So I had to make sure that I have 10-pound weight on my jiggler. Pressure. And I made sure that all my little holes, like the little hole that your pressure gauge sets on, your pressure jiggler. I might have to get the book out now. But anyway, let's hope this works. Let's hope. It's been over a year. I don't have Omi here to Help keep me straight. I also had to pull out some canning tools. Got my debubbler, which I washed, my magnet, my jars and lifter, and something else is in the dishwasher with the canning jars. I know I have a spatula that's for canning. Again, I don't know the correct technology. Not spatula, scooper, like soup scooper. So I don't know where it's at either. But if any of you follow me, you know I'm chaotic. Just call me chaos, as many do. But if I wait till I'm not chaotic, y'all don't see what I'm doing. And I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that has issues. Like I said, I keep my book right up here and my weights right up here. And that way I won't lose it. But at the same time, with things, changing things all the time, not quite there yet. This is what we're using. So, I'm going to get the jars out. And then we'll get started. Okay, this has been run through the dishwasher. It looks like that one wanted to escape. I see one at the bottom already, but seems like it worked pretty well with the lids. Just remember, doing back to back. And that way, this part gets clean. Go into my jars. Like I said, oh, there went one. But my jars are clean. I'll rinse this one off. It was down at the bottom. So, I just had one lonely lid and band. So, I'm going to get these jars out while they're still warm. And I'll get back with you. I'm going to have to go sit down. Yeah. Because I don't know if I showed you what I did for this. I don't. So I'm going to set it on the island. Look at my video. And if I didn't, it's a good thing I got another cup ready to start. I'll be back.